homemaking, taking care of your kids, investing so much on your kids. Leave those kids so that you can do this. One day you're gonna wake up and resent what you did. When it gets tough, I'm like, I could have been somewhere, maybe I would have taken a vacation to Miami, not worried about my husband's, because when I went to Ghana, one of the things they should probably include in the premarital counseling is what happens when you start having kids. Like the fact that you have to take on a new role, and then this role is sprinkled in with, just the natural things that happen in the body, like your hormones dropping. That compounded with the fact that the world does not see any value in the home, but the home feeds the world. So it's just like a place where you can be, and you might think it's not important, but it does things to you. How can this supposedly small thing, small job, have such impact on me? And I'm sitting here and I'm just thinking about some of those moments. I think it wasn't long ago, those times where you do your marriage dance, but it was a little bit too close to ovulation, so you're like, and then you are praying and saying, well, if it's your will, Lord. So it was one of those mornings, and I was just like thinking about it, and Isabel just walked up to me. She came up to me, touched my tummy, and said, I think there's a baby in there. And then she walks away, and I'm looking at her like, I said, did you dream about this? I mean, I know that she didn't hear that from me, because I've not even told Chris that, hey, I think we did this too close. I'm still trying to process. And I said, did you dream about this? And then she looks back at me and she said, no, your tummy is growing bigger and bigger every day. Then insecurity set in. So you're like, I'm looking at her and I'm like, oh, well, you know that when you were in my tummy, because I wanted to feel that this is her. And then it became a homeschool subject 101, learning about the diastasis recti. I don't know if that's the name. Like, this is what happens when but motherhood is just like, it will, and I always tell people, look, you don't need to criticize me, okay? Or, try to tell me where I'm doing wrong, because I have those people in my home, those little ones. One time they were praying, I wasn't there. And then when they were done with their devotion and praying, Chris, I think I went for my mom night out or something like that. So Chris later on was like, we prayed that you don't miss your way so much moving forward. And I'm like, because Isabel, that was her prayer point. Like, what? People will walk up to me, or they will send me messages when they see that I write those things about my brain health. That's Judah who manage. They'll be like, you need to just put these kids in school so that you can have your life back. And I'm sitting there and I'm like, do you know my life back? Like, do you know the life that you want me to have back? You don't even know me before this. Like, you don't even know me. You don't even know me. There's a song that says, people, they don't even know you. So I'm like, you don't even know who Doreen was, I think about so many things. Yeah, I do sometimes think about the good sides. Like, when it gets tough, I'm like, I could have been somewhere, maybe I would have taken a vacation to Miami, not worried about my husband's, because when I went to Ghana, I was like, oh, 1 month is too long. Like, what is Chris gonna do in terms of, the marriage dance and all those things, like emotion, oh my God. And then, so you think about, if I wasn't married, I could be whatever. But then there's the truth. I don't know about you also, that if I wasn't married, I would have been that vain, wasteful person. And I could be successful in whatever that I'm doing in my job, like career. But I could have been addicted to porn or anything, like, it is just not that we are giving to these children, but there's something that is also being done to us. I would have been laying in bed eating all the junk, probably gone on those yo-yo diets. I wake up today, I'm like, okay, intermittent fasting, I'm thin. The next day, I'm binging on whatever, with mindlessly going through life. Because I still remember when I used to just check things. Okay, best student, check, whatever, check. Then it just got tiring and it was just meaningless to me, and I was ready to get out of all of this. And I don't want to make these kids an idol, like they are the ones that made this change in me, because they are not. But they are the ones that made me reach that place. Like, you can't continue like this. And I've not arrived there. You know, you see my posts all the time, raving and ranting. I still have those struggles, but I'm wanting to be better every day, and I'm seeing that I'm being better every day. I'm like, wow, this is you, Doreen, like you killing it, man, Mama Doreen. But how does this small thing just make me feel all these things? It's the part of motherhood that we don't talk about, like what these kids give to you as well, or what God do with you because of these kids. I don't want to cry. I never cried till I got pregnant, and then I'll cry. Like, what's this? I think also it's because of Americans. Like, you guys cry for everything. When you're happy, you cry. When you're sad, you cry. But it's like, in those moments, it's when it hits you, like, I'm teaching these kids so much. And I have to be careful. Like, the world does not place value on this work. And if you're that person like me who always wants to be like, hey, you're doing it, like, you know, some of us just have this character that we have to tame to because we want to be known. And then God puts us in this place. Isn't he wise? Because this is what we need. But then that is where it hits you, like, I'm doing so much work here, and I have to be careful what I'm putting into this child. I'm teaching them so much. It doesn't matter how long you spend with them, whether you work outside the home, you work in the home. And that idea, when it hits you, you start to realize, I can't let them take this on. I can't pass this on to them. I need to fix this thing about myself. Sometimes people talk about all the things they have to give away, like they have to lose. And it's like, it's just good stuff. Nobody talks about the nasty things they have lost because of motherhood. You know, because of this homemaking. Sometimes you easily see when your partner is not pulling up like, hey, bruh, it seems like you just providing money, like we need the more, you know, we better, you say it nicely, but you know, and everybody starts pulling on their weight, like, hey, you can't be addicted to this sports or whatever because the kids are, and you all start doing better, and people don't talk about those things. And I'm not surprised. Why would the world be talking about this? This is what they should be against. I remember one time I was pregnant with Judah, and hey, being pregnant and having a toddler, I wish you all the best, like power to you if you're there right now. Always depend on your community. I'll say that's one thing I've learned. Look, God gave us people because we need people. So if somebody, like one of my friends would just tell me, come to my home and just lie down on the couch and let Isabel play with my kids, and I would never forget that. Even though I went for just like 2 days or whatever, it was like that thing I'll never forget. But yeah, I was pregnant with Judah, and I was just, you know, having that difficult time. It was one of those days where I thought, like, if I was not married, if I didn't have children, what would I be doing right now? How can I run away from this? And so Isabel comes, and I think this has happened to a lot of you as well. Isabel comes and hugs me. She was a toddler. She was still like blabbing, and she hugs me, and she said, I love you. And I'm like, and then that day I give her food, and she's like, thank you, mom. Like, it was just so many things happening in that moment. And I'm still feeling that emotion like it was that day. And what I want to say, it might not be a hug from your child, but God always sends, you always see that thing that makes you say, yeah, This is where I have to be going. This is the path I have to be walking on. This is where, and I always tell people, you're gonna pay the cost, whether you do the good way or the bad way. You're still gonna pay the cost. Somebody said, well, I'm sorry. Okay, I'm trying. Just ignore the tears. So somebody said, you know, you won't. You are depressed. Like they make depressed. Like if you say you are depressed, you know, in Africa, talking about mental health, depression is like, don't talk about it. People always relate it to like, oh, so you just stop this so that you know that kind of mentality. Stop this so that. But how many people are working and how many people are chasing career, and they are on depression medications? Not to say that if you are on those medications it's not okay. Hey, sometimes it is what it is. I have learned so much about life. Sometimes it is what it is. How many people are chasing career and they are on medications and all that? And so people, sometimes things will be highlighted about homemaking, taking care of your kids, investing so much on your kids. Leave those kids so that you can do this. One day you're going to wake up and resent what you did. Well, I'm not doing it so they can pay me back. I'm doing it because this is giving to the world. We were never...
This is good.
Yes, it is, babe. Okay, let mommy finish talking, then it will be your turn. Do you want to take a turn? Okay. And these are my kids telling me it's time, you know. So, do you want to take a turn when I'm done? Please? Should I go to the other room? Should mommy move to the other room? Or you want to do it for 1 minute?
Do it for 1 minute.
Okay, do it for 1 minute and I'll continue. Alright, it's my turn now. Let me do mine, then you be next again, okay? Go, I'll be right there.
More cucumber.
You want more?
More cucumber.
Okay, I'll get you more cucumber. So, yeah. I've lost my train of thought because unlike other seasoned content creators, I don't prep. Sometimes the things just come on me and I come here. This is like my journal, to be honest. There are so many videos I have not posted here, but it's easier for me to do this, and I like sharing as well if it's not too sensitive. But I've learned about my health. I said, oh, what's this anxiety? Why do I do this? Why do I do that? Oh, in order for me to be this gentle and have a peaceful home, I first have to deal with those things that make me not to. It's just like, you don't just mindless. People say, oh, you're lazy, that's why you stay home, you don't want to work. You know, people who knew me in the back in the days, because they're still like, oh, we are not surprised. She chose to do that because, yeah, she didn't like doing anything. And I'm like, it's actually easier for me to go to work, sit behind a computer and pretend like I'm normal. That is the easy, like read books and cram and go do those things. Those are like, those are like my territory. But this work right here, I don't even know why people still say this is a lazy work, but it's just the world we live in once again. But you're gonna pay the cost either way. You're gonna reach that part, that is the relationship we have with God. You're gonna reach that place where you have to be like, it's a God, or it's only God, otherwise like, and then you will need to turn around. And if you keep on not wanting to do the hard stuff and do the work in you, you will always be in that crying place of pitying yourself, like, oh, why am I broke? Why I'm broke? I need money, or I have this disease, because you refuse to do the work. You're thinking like doing this shortcuts are going to help you. They won't. And I'm talking about parenting right now, but you can relate this to any other thing that is happening in your life. You have to do the dirty work. No one will do it for you. And I like pulling people along when I'm doing something. It's just my character. You don't have to do that. You don't have to share on Facebook that you are ADHD or whatever. You don't have to. So long as you have your community that is okay. I feel like this is my mission field as well. That's why I keep on doing some of these things. But you don't have to, but remember that you have to do that work. No one will do it for you. Otherwise, you'll be stuck in that place of crying every time about your finances, your children, behavior, because you are not wanting to do the work. If you let him, Yahweh, he will do it. Okay, this is the end of this video. I just want to encourage you, like, there are many things that motherhood gives us that we are not aware of because we are not present. We just mindlessly doing it because, and I'm not even, condemning you or, negatively, hypocritically judging you, because I've been there for like 6 months to 1 year of my first daughter's life. I wasn't present. Yes, I was a stay-at-home mom, but it was like food that and then I was like, what? These days are passing me by. And look, this video was supposed to be something else, but this is what it is. So take care, and I'll see you. I know this was supposed to be the Q&A, but I will do the Q&A next week. I'm still expecting your questions. Some of you inboxed me. I'm so excited. Some of you are looking at homeschooling. Even in Africa, like South Africa, I got someone from South Africa asking me, and I'll connect you to some of the homeschoolers in South Africa, because it's much easier if someone in your country tells you about, okay, what to expect.